and that'll be fine. Let's see, let's log in. This is my Ancestry.com account. That's where you can kind of keep track of everything.
Yeah.
It builds a family tree for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 5, 6, 5.
Oh, you're getting way above my head. I ain't into this kind of stuff.
Don't worry about
at
that.
all.
That's all right. I'll take care of that. Oh, first thing, I think I've showed you pictures of these before, but at the house, I've had these 2 watches for a long time, and I feel like I only would have kept them if I had a personal connection to them, you know. But I can't for the life of me place either of them. You ever remember seeing either of these watches on, I don't know, your dad or somebody in your family?
No, I sure don't.
This one's a Timex. Like I said, maybe I just picked them up somewhere and just held on to them, but I felt like that would have been a weird thing for me to do.
I don't remember ever seeing them, but my memory ain't all that great. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, how about we start with your grandfather on your dad's side? So what, you remember his full name?
George Washington Norris.
Right. Okay, good. And he passed away fairly young in life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't. Daddy was just 13 or 14 or something like that when he died.
Yeah, it says on here 1923.
He died.
Passed away in January 19th in Bullitt County. You know why he died?
I think he had pneumonia or
Pneumonia.
flu or something like that. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about him, just what little I've heard Daddy say, and of course I wasn't paying no, I wish I'd paid more attention to him now, but
Right.
what he said. But Debbie and Danette's been down here.
Oh, really?
They getting ready to take the taxes over there.
Virgil was born in what year?
1908.
No, 1908. So yeah, he was about 15 years old.
15.
Man, he lost his dad young.
Yeah.
Was George Washington, was he a farmer also?
I think he farmed and logged. I think mostly logging, I think, is what he was.
Let's see here.
Now, he died.
Occupation was listed as logger.
Yeah.
Farmed a bit as well. What do you think they were farming back then?
Corn, I guess. Just getting enough to feed the old. They had 2 or 3 old cows where they raised their own milk and fed their own hogs and chickens, and so I guess it's mostly just for their. They didn't have nothing to sell, nothing.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that big of an operation.
Got it.
It was all done with a horse and a plow.
Right.
Of course, wasn't no tractors then, no way, but I guess there was a few, but they didn't have them.
Yeah.
I know Daddy had some pictures, his dad and them, and they were at a sawmill and they was working oxen.
Is that you think George Washington's in that picture?
I think he is, but Daddy couldn't pick him out neither.
Right, yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah. Do you think he had to travel a lot to go logging, or was there enough around here?
No, I think, now he done a lot of logging in Louisville.
Okay.
Cause I've heard Daddy tell, I guess you worked for some of them parks, I think Daddy said, in there, and cause they had 4 or 6 oxen drowned in there one day. They jumped a cable They say the oxes, when they get thirsty, they go get something to drink. And they two behind two, and they're pushing the two in front, and there was 6 of them, 4 or 6, I believe he said 6, in a line. And then the hook hooked onto the cable, and they couldn't get it. They'd swum long enough to get out and drowned it.
Wow.
Now I don't know if they belong to Daddy, or if Daddy's Daddy, or if I feel like he was probably working for somebody else.
Right.
That happened, but I've heard him tell that tale.
So he passed away long before you were born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And see, we talk about if Daddy was 15, I never did really figure it up. But he had, what, four, one brother and 4 sisters. 4 sisters, and one brother younger than he was. And no Social Security. Daddy told me what a hard time he had making it. His mom took in wash clothes for people, and he
Whose mother did? Virgil's mother?
Yeah, his mother.
Let's see. Connie?
Connie. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, so George's wife was Connie. They had Virgil. Can you name the others?
Zelma.
Zelma, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary, it looks like Mary was her given
Mary
first
Jane.
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Vina Bell.
Vina Bell.
And then
Do you remember a nickname she had?
we called her Aunt Patsy.
Yep, that's what it says in there. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
What year roughly do you think she passed away? Just trying to see. Oh wait. Looked like she may have passed away in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, she lived in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Her and her daughter both lived in Fort Wayne.
I'm sure I could find that somewhere, but Aunt Fatsy, what a nickname. And then looks like another female.
Was Aunt Barbie.
Is that Mildred Beatrice?
No, that's, we called her Bill.
Call her Bill?
That was what everybody called her, Bill.
Let me see. I think
They had a nickname for all of them.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can add a nickname. Add a fact. Let's see here. I don't see that on there. Let me see here. I'll just put this under namesake. It's as good a thing as any. Let's see here. Oh, here you go. So Mildred Beatrice. You said they called her what? Bill?
Bill.
B-I-L-L?
Yeah, B-I-L-L.
That doesn't even make sense, though.
That was what this.
There you go.
And now, this Aunt Bobby and Aunt Patsy and that supposedly come from me when I was.
Oh, really?
That's what they used to tell me, that I started that. But Bill, I don't know who started that, I guess.
And then it looks like there's a male.
Elsie.
Elza?
Elsie.
Some people
Elza
call him.
Raymond.
Some people call him Doc.
Well, everybody called him Doc.
Doc.
Yeah.
Wonder how he got that nickname.
I don't.
You probably gave it to him.
I might have.
So that would have been your uncle?
That'd been Daddy's buddy, yeah, my uncle.
Your uncle, yeah.
And he
What else?
was the youngest.
What else do you remember about George Washington?
I don't remember nothing of
Just because it was just passed down to you.
Yeah, it's just what little I've heard. I just knew he was a logger. They had a little old farm up there where Doc and them lived. I don't know if you up on Pine Tavern. I mean, it had a lot of timber on it. They got a lot of timber off of it.
This would have been like his address,
yeah,
roughly.
200 or 300 acres up there, I think, in the farm.
What county was that?
Bullet.
Bullitt County?
Yeah.
Bullitt County, Kentucky. And it was, you said 200 or 300 acres?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I know it's a whole lot up there. I don't think they ever bought nothing to put with it before they died.
And then, did it get passed down to somebody? Or did he just sell it?
Yeah, it got passed down to Doc. I guess Doc bought the other kids out. And then, of course, when he died, Dorothy, she sold it. And it's subdivision up there now. There's several houses up there.
And then Doc passed it along to who? Or sold it to
To
someone?
his wife, of course, Dorothy. And then, of course, her son died, Tommy, and with a brain tumor. He drove truck for us for several years. You probably remember him, probably. I don't know if he was dead when. You wouldn't either. You wouldn't remember. But anyway, he passed. Doc, Tommy both passed away, and then Dorothy. She sold the farm for about. I forgot. I don't know if he got it on there, a couple $100,000 or better. And I know they built the road back through there. I ain't been back there for years, but
What town is it close to?
I guess Lebanon Junction, Boston.
Gotcha.
Boston, Nelson County, Lebanon Junction. Probably be closer to Boston, I guess, but because it's close to the county line.
There you go. That's awesome. Did you ever hear any stories about George's parents?
The only thing I've heard about that, I'm pretty sure they come from Germany or someplace. And supposedly, Daddy used to tell a tale that him and his brother come here from overseas someplace, and they got separated when they got here and never did see each other again.
Let's see here. Calling a rival. Born in Germany and came over with his brother. Got separated once they arrived and never saw each other again. But George was always here in this area,
Yeah,
born and raised.
yeah, I guess he
you would
was
think.
born, I mean, I don't know where he was born,
Right.
I don't know.
Let me
He was
see.
born here. If him and his brother come here from overseas.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
I don't
Looks
know.
like George had a lot of.
Huh?
Looks like George may have had a lot of siblings.
My sisters, brothers,
Yeah,
yeah, I think he did.
because it says George was built. He was he was looks like he was probably born in 1881 in Lebanon Junction. That's what it says.
Okay, is George and, can you tell on there, was George and Jim, and, I forgot, there's a bunch of them that was, but I guess his brother.
Oh, Yeah, I can list them off for you.
Uncle Jim, I've heard Daddy talk about Uncle Jim, and
Let's
he
see.
lived next door to him. Cause he
Yeah,
helped him out a
so-
lot when his dad died.
So there's James R. James R. I guess, like I said, this would be George's brother.
Yeah,
He passed away in 28. You weren't born until 36?
yeah.
36, yeah. Then it looks like it was George, Jim, Samuel. Samuel passed away in 1897. Julia Ann, Kate, Belle, Sarah Elizabeth, Benjamin Franklin Myers.
They knew what I was.
So they had a George Washington and a Benjamin Franklin. They were brothers. And then Benjamin Franklin passed away in 1945, it says. Do you remember that? That would have been, if George was your grandfather, it would have been your great uncle. Do you remember a great?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that? It's too young, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were 9 of those kids.
I know there was a big family of this Uncle Jim's. Because he lived next door to Daddy, to where Daddy was raised. And he had several kids. I know there was a Golden and Sam and
This Uncle Jim, do you remember
George.
his wife's name?
Zolly.
Zolly?
And Zolly, I think.
With a Z.
Zolly, they called her Aunt Zolly. I
Yeah.
guess that was from, she was a napper, I think.
Napper?
Yeah. What's her?
Good memory. There you go.
Before she married. Yeah. She's a little bitty woman, I mean. Weighed about 80 pounds. I had about 10 kids.
That's Jim's
Wife,
wife?
yeah.
So she outlived Jim? How do you remember her?
I don't,
Oh, you don't?
yeah, I can remember Aunt Zolly.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Because he passed, like I said, he passed away 8 years before you were born.
Yeah. Well, does it tell when she was died?
It didn't have her in there, so I just added
didn't
it.
have
So,
She died. She must have lived being an real old woman. Cause I remember her. I remember of eating a meal or two down there at that house. There was a whole slew of boys and girls. I guess her kids.
yeah.
They had a big family. Not any. I think Daddy's. I think I've heard him say that Daddy's had several other brothers and sisters in his family. You know, his sisters and brothers. But other than Uncle Jim,
Yeah.
and I don't remember him. Other
Yeah.
than I just heard Daddy talk about him.
You have a lot of memories of Connie McCubbins? That was her
Yeah,
maiden name, right? McCubbins?
And I called her, Connie McCubbins, and I called her Bobby Ash.
I've heard
She
that
had
before.
she had a nickname too. Yeah, she was. Hell, I stayed with her more than I stayed at home.
Oh, really?
When we lived in Lebanon Junction, Fort Knox took our place down there.
Let's see. Connie, one second. Connie, called her Bibby Ash?
Bobby Ash.
How would you even spell Bibby?
Pibby, I think.
Yeah. Ash, A-S-H?
Yeah.
Bibby Ash?
Now she was Bobby.
Bibby Ash?
She was married to George Woodson Mars, but then he died, and she married again, and she married Virgil Ash. So she was married a second time and had one kid by her second marriage, Pauline.
Let me see. Let me just get this name in here. Bibby Ash. Bibby Ash McCubbins. Let me see if it put it in there.
You might be hard, I'll turn that thing down a little bit.
No, I'm fine.
Let me edit a different way. Doesn't like that.
There we go.
What's up?
Yo, what's going on? How are you?
Doing good.
I'm giving him a thorough questioning here.
Boy, sure he is.
Doing a little ancestry.com.
He don't like my nicknames I had for my grandparents neither.
You're probably telling
Well, I
them
don't know how to
names
spell them.
they- You're probably telling them the names they should be named.
Huh. Yeah.
Which one do you want?
Did he give you the credit card?
No. Blank check. That's what I get.
Nice. Yeah, I had the day off. I had to work last night, but I didn't have to do much work, so I got a lot of sleep. And I decided I'd come down here this afternoon.
Nice.
Andrew and the boys are coming back from Hilton Head tonight. I gotta pick them up from the airport at like 10 p.m.
And he asking me questions I don't know
I'll say,
nothing.
how far back are you getting?
We went back to his grandfather. That's what-
18, when one of them was died in 18 something, wasn't it?
Yeah. I guess we talked about the great grandfather
Yeah,
who came over from Germany. From a distance, I was like, "My dad here with our trailer?"
Yeah. I've been treating it like it's mine. I sit there, help Collie move, and then I had it. Dad wanted his mower taken over there, and I had it hooked up, so I did that. Then he wanted his mower, and I'm like, well, I already got this trailer here. So I took your dad's this morning.
I'm just glad it wasn't sitting there where that big ass tree fell.
Yeah.
They show you pictures of that tree?
Yeah.
Good grief.
I don't know if it would have hit it or not, but he's showing it did. I mean, it went underneath the driveway, I think.
That's what my dad said. He thinks there's like a.
It's hard to tell yet, but I mean, it's into the driveway like that far, and I mean, the asphalt's buckled. It almost looks like
Yeah.
it went underneath of it and pushed it up.
Well, he said,
I don't know.
did they say there's a limb in there they're going to take a tractor or something?
Said it came- There's like it's like embedded in the ground.
There's one like that, and then that drive. I think the one in the driveway. I think it actually kind of went under it and buckled it up.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell yet, but he got a lot of it cleaned up though.
It's good. He needs something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Dad both. Dad, it gets cold, and then he either gets sick or he's just lazy, and then it's like the weather finally turns, and he's like, it doesn't matter what there is to do. He's out there fiddling doing something.
Right. Yeah, I wondered. I was like, man, I'm driving down here unannounced. He might be out farming today. But I was like, the ground's got to be super wet.
Yeah, it's still too wet too. Seemed like his yard up there was solid. I mean, I wouldn't say he could drive, but I mean, just walk on it wasn't mushy wet, but it might still have been froze.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
Shaded enough to be
Yeah.
froze still too. Well, I'm gonna put this battery in there.
I'm gonna grab it over.
You get it right.
You talk to Cartier once in a while. That one flows solid.
Yeah, this is for solid. Let me put it back in there. It's alright. I'll just let it thaw out a little bit. Where's your heater anyways? Where's the heat coming from?
Right there.
This?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that one flows too?
Mostly. I'll just let it sit there for a while, it'll be fine.
We can run some hot water over it too.
Oh no, yeah. All right. What else do you remember about Bobby Ash?
She was a good woman. She had, of course, is my grandma, but
Right.
she was really good to me. I stayed with them most of the time.
Let's try to add something here.
She lived to be an old woman. I don't know whether that tells or not, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks like she
Yeah,
passed
right.
away in 1971. She would have been like 85 years old.
85. I thought it's probably older than that.
So you were there often at her house?
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed. Of course, when her husband had died, of course, and the second husband had too. In fact, he died before I was born too, the second husband. But I stayed with her and Doc and Pauline, the stepdaughter, Daddy's stepsister, and from a second marriage.
It was your dad's stepsister?
Yeah, my dad's
Virgil's.
stepsister. Her name Pauline Ash.
You just stayed at their house a lot?
Yeah, I stayed at the house.
You slept there too?
Slept there too.
What about your parents' house?
I wasn't stay up there with them. Of course, my uncle, Daddy and them moved to Lebanon Junction when Fort Knox went through. And my uncle, they had that little farm up on Pine Tavern. And they milked a few old cows by hand and farmed with horses and things. And of course, that was my life then. I was 7 or 8 years old. So actually, I pretty much stayed with them till we moved over here. I think we moved over here in 47 or 48. We moved down there in that old house
Oh, right.
down there. And I come home then. Cause Daddy had cows he bought cows. I think actually he had some of the cows that my uncle was milking. I think that's the way it was. I ain't gonna say for sure on that.
Yeah. Here we'll go to.
You talk Carly very much,
Mm-hmm.
do you?
Yeah, sometimes we text.
You don't want to pay too much attention to what Carly tells you.
Oh, Carly. I think you said Collie.
No, Carly.
Carly. No, we don't talk that often, but we did talk over the holidays when we were
Oh, that
at
what
that
it was.
party. Yeah. So
She
you-
likes to kind of like get into
I know.
this,
She told
too.
me. Yeah. That's why I told her I would do some of this to help her out. So you said you moved. So you said, let's see. This is you stayed with your with his grandmother. That was Connie.
Yeah, Connie
Connie.
and Doc.
And Doc would have been your uncle.
Yeah, he was been my uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Uncle Doc.
I stayed with them.
So Doc
And
was your.
Daddy's brother.
Gotcha.
and I'd stay with him, and
So Doc, how old was Doc at that time?
he's a whole lot older than.
Why didn't he move out of the house already?
He didn't get married till he was probably 30 years old when Doc got married. Of course, his mother was her husband had died, so
Yeah,
I
it was
guess he
nice,
thought he kind of took care of.
nice to have him around the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Her and Pauline both was at the house. And Doc would take me. Of course, I went to school in Lebanon Junction, but Doc would take me down there. We'd get up and milk the cows early, and then he'd take me down to school at Lebanon Junction.
Lebanon Junction.
Yeah.
What was the school called?
I guess it had a name, but Lebanon Junction Elementary or something like that, I think. You know where Daddy and them used to live up on top of that hill? Did you ever go out that house? When they lived in an apartment?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where the school used to be.
Oh, really?
That's where I used to go to school at.
The school used to sit on the hill across from the old golf course.
Yeah.
So you stayed with Connie, Uncle Doc,
Yeah.
Pauline.
Yeah.
The house, that was that 2 to 300 acre farm.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't-
yeah. No, that's fine.
I don't know what tells in there, how many. I know it's a great big place, because I know they got a lot of houses built on it. Went way back in there, that holler. I mean, like I said, it wasn't good ground. It was just kind of, as they said, hold the world together, I guess. But
Then moved in 1947. You said.
yeah, 46, 47, maybe 48. I can't remember what year we moved here, but Daddy bought this place here, and we moved over here.
Then moved from so to. Wasn't good ground. His parents had a house, but he.
And fix your own dinner, Ben.
So basically moved so to Stewart Road.
Yeah.
Got it. Excuse me.
You started.
Yeah.
It started all right.
Kicked right off. Should've been all this. I got that wiring harness off of there, and then anything else, if that guy was bad, it's just
Yeah.
it's hammers and stuff like that. Take all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to take anything else off of it.
And then did that school go up to 8th grade?
It went to the 12th grade.
Oh, that school on the top of the hill right there went
Yeah,
to 12th
it
grade?
went, yeah, it was all 12 grades in there.
But how long did you stay in the school?
I went over there 6 years, and then we moved. Daddy bought this place here, and I went. They had a 2-room school at Coldburg. I went there in the 7th and 8th grade, and that was it on me. That's how come I'm so smart.
There you go.
I got 8th grade
So you went
education.
to elementary school, basically in Lebanon Junction. Yeah, okay. Sitting up the hill there.
There was a county school at Coldburg, but there's 2 nuns that taught.
Then went to Was that, wait, what was it, was it St. Clair? What was the name of the school there?
Well,
St. Clair?
it was a county school,
Oh, okay.
and the nuns just taught there.
In Colesburg.
And there was 8 grades there. 4, they called it the big room or little room. There's about 30 kids in four grades.
Oh, okay.
Because they taught the same. They taught 3 or 4 grades in the same
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
8 grades.
And we had a
Split.
nun, Sister Agnes, and she beat the hell out of me every day that I went to school. I don't think I missed very many days I didn't get a whipping. And I didn't think I was that bad. Had outside toilet. Had no running water. Heated with wood, coal in the wintertime. The older kids took turns taking care of the heat that day.
Sister Agnes, you said?
Sister Agnes was my teacher. I guess she was a good teacher, but she was mean. It wasn't like it is now. They could whip a man.
What would they whip you with? A paddle?
Paddle.
Did they have holes in it or was it solid paddle?
Hell, I don't remember that part. I know she could sting you pretty good. She hit you.
I mean, I know it wasn't a paddle, but when I say drill holes in it,
Yeah.
to get more airflow.
So you finished out 8th grade?
Yeah. I got an 8th grade diploma in there someplace.
And then got to farming.
I was 13 years old when I got out of school. I was been 14 in June. But anyway, there wasn't no, they made Heavy go to school till you're 16. But there wasn't no bus or nothing come down here then when we moved over. So nothing was never said to me about
Going to high school?
going to high school. The Catholic school at Lebanon Junction, I believe started the next year or the second year or something after I got out. But I'd done been out from up here and then nobody never did notify me or nothing, but Heavy quit and they made him go back till he was 16.
Oh, Catholic high school opened
Yeah.
in Lebanon
He
Junction.
went to Lebanon Junction. And Mom had to take him, actually.
Huh.
Me and Diane made these cookies. One of them.
So you graduated in 1950 then?
50 and
49?
49?
49.
Oh, yeah, 49. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you would have turned 14?
Yeah.
So you turned 14 right after, like the
Yeah,
month after you
right.
graduated?
Yeah, I got out in May, I think. Or April, and then see
May
my
before you turned 14?
birthday's in June.
Yeah.
It was.
That'd been 1950 then, right?
Yeah.
36, yeah.
Yeah.
19 what?
That'd
50.
been 1950.
Yeah.
So 75 years later and you're still working.
Yeah. And actually, when I was about 16 and a half years old, I started hauling milk. Daddy bought that milk out, and he had ulcers. He got sick. And
But at 14, you start working just on the farm?
yeah, I just worked on a farm.
But were you guys just farming for yourselves, or were you selling stuff?
No, we just farmed for ourselves. The only thing we'd sell a few hogs or a few chickens or something like that. As far as selling grain or anything like they do now, we didn't even have nothing because we took everything. It took about everything we raised to feed the horses and cows, and
Yeah.
what we raised we fed to the animals, you know.
Yeah.
Which that's the way an awful lot of people done it then. Because everybody, just about every farm had a few chickens, a few pigs, a few old cows.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't very many milk cows then. During beef cows, it was all, everybody had a few old milk cows. Because I know when I was picked up milk, you'd have to shake a can sometimes, see if there's anything in it. You know, if anybody had 2 old cows, they'd try to sell that little bit of milk.
Yeah.
But you had boost station. If you did have anything extra, you could always take it down there pretty well and sell it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, we never did, but they did before that. Daddy and them, I've heard them say they put cream on the train down there. The train used to stop down there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But that was before your.
That was before my time.
So your father Virgil bought a milk route a couple years later.
Yeah.
How many miles do you think that milk route was?
I had probably 75 miles a day,
75 a day. Oh, okay.
and that was 7 days a week.
So it would have been 1952.
52.
7 days a week?
Yeah.
75 miles.
Gas
per
was
day.
probably 22 or 23 cents a gallon then too. That's
23
what-
cents a gallon.
That's what's breaking us up buying gas.
What were you driving?
50 Chevrolet,
1950 Chevrolet.
yeah, ton
Truck?
and a half, yeah, two. It had dual wheels. I think they call them ton and a half.
The original 1500.
Yeah, it's a little bit heavier than a 1500, but it had dual wheels and
Yeah.
a 4-speed transmission.
In a tank? What were you?
No, in a can.
because it was just
Yeah.
in milk glass bottles,
No, this was in 10-gallon cans.
10-gallon cans.
Yeah.
Oh, so you would take it from the.
We took it from us to, actually we hauled to a cheese factory at Eatown, Armor Cheese, Armor.
Armor?
Yeah, Armor,
ARMOUR?
Yeah.
Something like
yeah.
Where was that? Was right there beside Les Pinkham, or was that not?
Huh?
Where was that at?
It was between the railroads, over at Eatown, the IC, and you went down through there. That's where Guy Williams that's where got our gas from, and actually it's a feed mill. It used to
Where
be
the ice
out there
place-
then.
Where the ice place is now.
Yeah, right between the ice place and the other crossing.
What was down there by Les Pinkham? There's a garage with it. You ever read Miller's garage?
About where that, yeah, that's Red Miller's Garage.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah.
What about Sheds? Where was that at?
Sheds was on Floyd Street in Louisville. It was down by the L&N shops. Did you ever?
I never went. I heard you talk about it. Didn't you work there at one?
Yeah,
time?
I worked there 7 or 8 years.
So, okay. It's 1952. You're doing that 7 days a week.
And I,
Chasing girls? Well, yeah, I guess so, because it's 16.
yeah,
Well, no. You married at
I
21.
got married at 21. I started chasing girls way too early. But,
Is that why you didn't whipped in school?
Probably. Oh, Ben, I showed him these 2 watches. I've had these at the house forever. And I feel like I wouldn't have kept them if they didn't mean something, you know? And But, man, anybody I showed to in the family, they're like, yeah, I've never seen those before in my life.
I don't think it'd be a Papa Woodward or something.
I don't know. I showed it to my dad once, and he's like, no, I don't remember him wearing that. But
feel like he wore. I mean, I know he wore a watch, didn't he? Best I remember.
I don't remember.
I know you did, but yours always
Yeah,
kind of
I
leather.
used one.
They're a leather band usually.
Yeah,
But
I
I
had
thought. I mean, no.
Yeah, I never did want the stretch
Yeah.
But I
band.
thought Napa. I would have thought his would have had that metal.
I know. I'd like to. I need to look at some old photos. Maybe if I could see him in the photo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
You
don't
showed
know.
Grandma Annie though. She didn't say him.
I think I showed a picture of him too. I don't think I showed, like actually had him hold him in her hands. You know.
He got to catch her on a good day. Sometimes she'll just. I
Yeah.
don't know. If she's in a big way, she might
Right.
be a little more responsive to it. I got a Gatorade out of there earlier. It wasn't frozen, but they're all frozen.
I know.
Oh, what the? I going out before I went to town. It wasn't frozen.
You know,
I got the only one. Because both fridges are froze up.
huh,
So you got married on what was the date?
April 24th, 1957.
1957. Zero. 20.
I went to work in Louisville then,
April. You said April
24th,
24th.
1957.
1957. Oh, here you go. April. 1957.
That one froze too then.
Yeah,
I guess we need to take the dang things out of the cooler, the refrigerator, I reckon.
What city did you get married in?
Colesburg,
Colesburg.
St. Clair. Father Beaumont married us.
St. Clair. Father Beaumike.
Yeah. Don't ask me how to spell that.
How many people do you think were there?
25 or 30 maybe. It wasn't very many.
What was the weather like?
It was pretty. It was a pretty day that day.
Guess there was a party at that hall, or was that hall built at that time?
Now, I guess the hall was there, but we didn't have no party there.
You just get married
I
and go back to
mean,
work.
we just got married, come on home, and
Start having kids.
I started hauling coal again. At that time I was hauling coal. I'd quit hauling milk, and I was hauling coal over here at Boston at the distillery. You know, haul 2 loads a day over there for, I don't know, 2 years, 2.5 years. Cause I got married, got a job in Louisville pretty quick after I got married.
So did Virgil keep the milk route when you
No,
did
he
that?
got rid of it.
So you got in. I didn't know you ever got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got out of milk hauling, so that's what different ones think. And we hauled all the time, but we got out for I got out for about 10 years. Go see, I worked at Sheds, I think 7 years.
Is that 7 years, that stretch where you went up to Fort Wayne?
Yeah, I
That's
went
in
to
that
Fort
same
Wayne. The first year I worked at Sheds, I got laid off. And I had a Miss Vina Bell, Patsy I called her.
Yeah.
They lived at Fort Wayne, and her husband got me a job up there. And I went up there and stayed about a month, and it was the most miserable month of my whole life.
So wait, okay, so you're hauling milk at 16, and you stopped hauling milk
Till-
when?
About 18, 19,
So that would have been like 1955.
yeah, 55, 56.
So
yeah.
1955, you started doing what? Coal?
At 55, yeah.
You stopped-
Went home cold.
Stops hauling milk.
And home.
Because your
milk.
dad got sick, you stopped hauling milk?
No, he was sick. That's how come I started hauling milk.
Oh, okay.
Daddy had the route, and he had hired Kenneth Vine. But Kenneth didn't know where to go, so I was 15 or 16 years old, and I went with Kenneth, showing him where to go. Well, hell, I was doing work, so Kenneth told Daddy, said, you just well let me pick the milk, do it. You
Yeah.
know, wasn't no use paying him. So then Mom, she throws a big hissy. She wouldn't let me drive by myself.
Okay.
So
And so
she went
Kenneth
with me
said-
for about a week on milk route once I started.
How's the license work back in?
I got my license at 16,
You just go get
and
'em.
I just went to driving the next day. Well, we done driving anyway. Daddy gets sick, we drive.
So you did it alone. So you did it alone for a couple of years?
Yeah,
Okay. So then you stopped hauling milk like mid 50s, 1950s. That's when you started doing coal?
started hauling coal. And I hauled coal for the distillery for about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And I think
Which distillery was it?
Boston,
They,
Churchill and Beams.
Go down, took 62 down to Muhlenberg County,
Yeah, we went,
to Peabody.
you said
No.
two drives a day? You said 2 hauls of coal a day?
2 loads of coal a
2
day.
loads per day?
And we'd go to Morgantown and turn off and go through the other.
You trying to think of the town?
Yeah,
It's Butler County.
I was in Butler County.
Butler County.
Butler County, Kentucky?
But
That's where you
that's
where
where we
you're
hauled the coal from.
you picked it up there
Yeah,
and came
pick it
back.
up there and bring it up here to the distillery and dump. We had a dump truck,
Where's Butler County?
so
Is that all
Off the
64?
Natural Parkway.
Oh.
Cut you between 65 and the WK.
Oh, western part of the state.
Yeah, that's what I said. So like they didn't have WK back then, so they take 62
Yeah.
all the way down to
Caneyville.
Caney.
Turn off Caneyville. Well, that was pretty narrow road then.
Butler County.
Caneyville to
I think I know what you're trying to think of. I can't think of it. You went to Morgantown, but you're trying to think of this coal.
Morgantown.
Where you got the coal from?
Yeah, we'd go back to Morgantown. I mean, this coal come under the ground. You
Yeah.
know, they dug it out, but we hauled. There were 2 of us hauled. We hauled 4 loads a day, and so we pulled around all the other trucks and everything. Of course, it
So
was
let's see,
a long
Litchfield.
day.
You go through Litchfield,
Yeah, go to Caneyville and turn over Caneyville.
Caneyville. Let's see, Beaver Dam, Cromwell, Morgantown. I see Morgantown. That's just
Morgantown for we went.
okay. Gotcha. Got it.
But you can't remember the name of the coal company?
There was 2 or 3 mines we went to, and they had older guys owned it, be 2 or 3. They dug the coal, had ponies that went underground and dug the coal.
Peabody was one of the names down there. Though.
Yeah, but it's a big one, I
That's a big
think.
one.
This one here was, they had names, but I swear being, I don't,
Yeah.
but they was nice people. They was,
So then let's see. Let's do some more employment. You said you did that for about 2.5 years.
and then I went, when I got married, I don't know, just a month or 2 after I got married, I
Got
got
married in 50,
June, May,
57.
yeah, 57. Anyway, Raymond Brand got me a job at Sheds in Louisville, and I went to work in there, and I was in there about 7 years, but I got laid off once. I went to Fort Wayne and worked for 2 or 3 weeks or 2 months, maybe. It wasn't but a very short time.
So you got a job. Let's see, Louisville, Kentucky.
At Sheds peanut butter and pickle place.
Shit, that 2 D's. You think?
Yeah,
Sheds, peanut butter, and what?
prune juice. That's what they made. I
Is that
worked
like a
in-
factory?
Yeah,
Peanut butter and prune juice factory. Interesting. What part of town was that in Louisville?
down there by the L&N shops on Floyd Street.
Okay. Bye.
There was 3 or 4 little factories down there.
And what did you do there?
Well, I had a hard job on that prune juice. They put, I believe, 12,000 pounds of prunes in a round tank
Okay.
and turned the heat on and it cooks for about 4.5 days. And then you have to get in that tank and pump it out. I mean, to pump the juice out. And then we got in that tank and scooped the prunes out.
So the juice gets pumped out.
And then they got a big overhead hoist and great big buckets.
They
You fill them up with
you
prunes.
shovel out basically the hard, like the
Yeah.
solid pieces of the prunes.
Yeah, they're solid pieces, and they were hot too. They drain that juice off
just-
of them. You get in there, it'd be 120 or 30 degrees.
Yeah, it'd been cooking for 4.5
And,
days.
and you scooped them out and refilled it.
Oh, okay.
They
And
had
then-
9 tanks in a line,
Huh.
and they had it set up where they could pump bottled prune juice every day. And the same way with the peanuts, they've done the peanut butter.
What would they do with the prune pieces that you shovel out?
We put them in a tank back there then and hauled them to garbage. But before I quit, they had put them for, they was using them stuff for different kinds of jelly and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why wouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. But they started that before I quit. But anyway, they had put different flavors in it and make, I don't know, different kinds of jelly or different kinds of something. Anyway, they didn't throw it away.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're missing out on a opportunity there.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you said 7 years you worked there?
Got 7 years.
Oh wow. So then that was, you started there when you were married.
Yeah.
Soon
About
after.
64 or 65. I believe 64 I bought the milk truck. But I went ahead and heavy down milk truck for me for a while when I first bought it. And I worked in sheds. I forgot.
So bought a milk truck while
I believe
working.
I quit
That's
in the
shit.
sheds about 65, I think. And so I've been hauling milk ever since, or did haul milk. I hauled milk over 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you stopped hauling milk, and what year was that?
I didn't quit hauling. I mean, I still haul once in a while. I mean, quit 3 or 4 years before Jimmy died. But not much before that. I'd haul
Before
on
he got
weekends or.
Use.
Before the pandemic, you stopped, or were you still doing
Oh
it?
yeah, before that.
Late,
Yeah.
so late 2019. No,
I'd say
20.
it'd been at least 2018, 20.
Probably.
I'm trying to think college. I was
It's
at.
probably after 2000.
14.
2000.
No, you would have made it to 2010 at least. I don't think you'd have made it 2015, 2010, 15, somewhere in there. That range, I would say. So I can't remember
Gotcha.
exactly when Jimmy got out.
So when you bought that first milk truck in like 64, 65, what kind of truck was that?
It's a 59 Ford. The first one I bought.
1959 Ford. Ford what? They just have
F600.
Ford F600?
Yeah. And then I bought a.
Now, was that still 10 gallon?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, basically just a box truck at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a box truck, had a van. You picked it up by milk coolers.
Oh, gotcha.
Water, had water in it.
Huh.
You seen them old milk cans like people buying. Dad's had some. You don't know if your dad's probably got some up there somewhere, but like a metal can.
Yeah.
It's just got 2
Handles, yeah.
They're all rusted up.
They hold 86 pounds if they're full. They hold 86 pounds of milk.
Wow.
I said, well, we talk about people being man enough. You'd carry 2 of them in that box truck and you'd set one up and set one up.
I couldn't do that. I could carry the 2 cans. I could, and you can't believe back in how many places you'd have to carry them. Pour them here at the house. They'd have 4, 5, 6 cans, and them farmers in was tight just like they are right now. They wouldn't buy a load of rock to get to them. So if it was muddy, you carried the milk out to the main road.
Yeah.
Load.
Huh.
And then it didn't make no difference how bad the weather was, if there's snow on or ice up there, you had to haul milk.
Then, so how long did you have the 59?
I bought a new one in 61. And then I bought a new Chevrolet in 64. And
Well, you thought you said you didn't start hauling milk. So you started while you were still at Sheds.
yeah, I started while I was still sick.
Okay, because you didn't stop. So you
No.
worked at Sheds.
I
for
worked at
4 or
Shedd
5.
yeah. I worked there 7 years, I think.
Heavy drove for him.
And heavy drove for me.
Was the 59 a new truck for you? Was it new?
No, it was used.
It was
when
used.
I bought
So
it.
what year do you think
I
you
bought
bought
it
that?
from Ed Lavery.
think you bought it?
Probably in
1960?
60 or 61.
Got it. Okay.
And it was pretty well wore out because I traded for a 61 Ford truck not too long after because the truck was broke, it would break down every day, you know.
Yeah.
So I traded and got another one, and that's when I
60.
decided I didn't like Ford. They didn't.
Bought a
It was new
1961
and it still
Ford.
broke down.
What was this? Was that another F600?
Yeah, it's F600.
So you bought the 61 new in 61 or in
Yeah.
64? Yeah.
I bought it. It might have been 62. It was a new truck, but
Yeah.
it might have been a 60. I can't remember what month I bought it or nothing like that.
Yeah, but it was brand new.
Moved away from Ford.
But I know I bought a new Chevrolet in 1964, and it was also a can truck. But I went to the tank after that.
64 at a tank.
Yeah, no, the 64 had a van body. But,
Gotcha.
But when at that time, they were just switching. People were switching from cans to tanks. So I had a tank truck and a can truck both for a few months. I
Yeah.
hauled can truck a morning and then come in and unload it and get in the tank truck and go haul it that evening. Because you just had a few stops, on each one.
Can truck.
That's when they was
in
changing
the
over.
morning. Tank truck in the afternoon.
And the first tank truck I had was a 64 or 65 International tilt cab. No power steering, no hydraulic brakes. 1,800 gallon tank, you had too much weight on it anyway. Of course, I didn't get full very often.
Single axle?
Yeah, single axle.
Oh, you don't single axle.
And I starved to death. So that's when I started hauling, going back and forth Springfield. We hauled, I got rid of my can out. And I just picked up tanks. And then of the evening, I hauled water. At that time, wasn't very many people had county water. Hauled water around here, filled up swimming pools, and we got hauling about 12 or 13 loads a week from Springfield. But I had 2 trucks in from the milk plant to Springfield to Eatown.
You was just hauling
Just
byproduct away or
transport,
something?
yeah. It was just whole milk, but it was just, they was making cheese out of it at Eatown. They wasn't getting enough at Eatown to run all day.
And that was called, what was that? That was called something, wasn't it?
Armor,
That's still Armor? in
yeah,
Springfield?
it was still on there.
So let's say, all right, if you could remember, 1965, you're basically only hauling milk, right? You stopped working at Sheds by that
Yeah.
point, mid 60s.
Yeah.
What was a typical income for you in a year?
Well, you'd make pretty good money, but you put so much of it back in your fuel tank, and 'cause
Right.
I was keeping my own truck up, and making the payments on it.
Yeah.
I can't. I tell you the honest truth, I can't.
Yeah.
And we farmed a little bit. We sold some hay. I mean,
Probably never knew what his take-home pay was.
yeah, I didn't have enough money to run out and go out and eat 2 or 3 nights a week, or even 1 night a week.
Was that Chevy, was that the 366 gas? Or is it, where did them come in?
Them was tank trucks.
That is low.
That's 366.
So your first tank truck was International, but then you went back
Yeah.
to Chevy's after that.
Yeah,
Kind of.
but I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I liked the Internationals, but they whine quite a bit more when you trade for them, because I'll guarantee you that they's that much better truck.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I got in John Nichols with that 64 Chevrolet. I mean, well, John Nichols did it first, and then Brewer Chevrolet, and I had good credit there, and I could buy anything I wanted, so, and I didn't have that much credit no place else. I tried to trade at Grigsby's up in Bardstown. Remember when that International dealer was right top of the hill? It used to be a big International dealer. And I got one International truck from Mount Washington, which Daddy knew that guy. He helped me out on that one.
Did you ever think at some point, man, I wish I had done this or that instead of farming and hauling milk?
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I was so fucking dumb, I didn't. I just thought that was the only way to do it. I always liked farming, and I always liked hauling milk, really. I mean, I know it was hard in the wintertime. It was aggravating job, 7 days a week and everything, but I just never did think that much about it. Get up about 4 o'clock in the morning and go. Me and Jimmy, for several years, we were the first, when I went to hauling the sheds, went to Dean's. I don't even remember now when I went to start hauling there. But they asked me if we were sitting around in there of the evening waiting 4 or 5 hours getting unloaded. And they called me and Danny Samp, 2 or 3 of us up there, and asked us if we'd be interested in coming in early every morning. And of course that tickled me to death. I don't even think Jimmy was hauling yet then. But that's what we started doing. We'd go, and we was the first 2 trucks to unload. We were supposed to be at sheds at Dean's at 6 o'clock on the scales. And they'd unload us, and that way you get out early, get your milk picked up, and come bring the milk here. You had some time here at the farm of the evening. So we thought we had it made then. Wouldn't work.
But in order to get your truck to there by 6, that means you started your route at what time?
We'd start out at 6, but we'd had a load of milk on. We'd pick it up today after we got unloaded this morning. They'd have us unloaded and ready to leave Dean's by
I see.
7:30,
Okay.
8 o'clock.
So the milk would
We'd go pick the milk up then.
sit in the truck.
Yeah, till the
overnight.
next morning. But the milk has to be 38 degrees. They're checking in Dean's. It has to be cold or they won't unload it.
Right.
Cause we have been turned down a few times, not very many, but once in a while. But if you waited till about 8 or 8:30 before you left in the morning, the farmers would have time to get on and the milk get cold before you picked it up. Cause their coolers would cool it down.
But the tank on the truck ain't cool. It's just it's insulated.
It holds it, but it don't cool it.
So
I see.
Jimmy got into like they need to be done milk, which they got better with years, but they had to be done milking. And it's like a guy might be a little hotter, but if the older milk was cool, it would kind of blend.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Marion talking about knowing the temperature and well that was iffy, but they'll sit overnight and still be cold enough the next morning, even in summertime.
Huh. That's wild.
But you'd have been, what was that first Mac? Yeah, all your Macs went to Dean's, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that would have been, you've been hauling there by 80, in 70 sometime probably then, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I can't even remember what year I started hauling Dean's.
Because all your Macs were 80s models, weren't they?
Yeah, that first old Mac was 72. I
Was
bought it
72?
used. Bought it from Red Miller.
But would it ever went to sheds?
Huh?
You don't know the year you bought it though.
I bought it. I I ain't gonna tell you exactly what I bought it.
I was trying to think of something we might
But I hauled with Chevrolet stuff.
just to do.
Remember, I had that truck Jimmy turned over, that tandem. I put a second axle on it and a 3,250 gallon tank on it, and had a 366. I think everybody from Bardstown to Springfield cussed me every day because I'd get slow coming up that Fredericktown Hill with. But I done that for a long time. And then I bought that Mack. I thought I had it made then. But it was a sand rifle, but I put a 2,750 gallon. That was a heck of a tank on it.
How many years did you haul into Dean's before they gave you the option to come in the morning?
A year or two.
It wasn't very long.
It was pretty quick after. Cause these they was doing Winn-Dixies, Duff and they was buying a hell lot of milk.
So the main company you worked with was Dean's.
Yeah, I guess you'd say that's the main company I worked for.
That's what I was trying to get, because Jimmy hauled to Dean's clear up to 2018, 20
Yeah.
whatever, something. And then, so that's what I'm trying, you would have been from at least 80 on. So he'd have done 30, I'd say you probably had 40 years of
Yeah.
doing Dean's. And then if Sheds was 61, I mean, you wouldn't have had 20 years of Sheds at best. But sometime in the 70s, I guess you started hauling Dean's.
I'm pretty sure I got it wrote down someplace when I started the Sheds. I mean, Dean's. Cause they come and got me, they come down to Armours and got me. And asked me if I'd haul for them.
Was DFA, was any of that set up by then?
Yeah, it was,
Sorry.
yeah.
What was the worst accident you ever had while driving a milk truck? And did you lose the milk?
Hell, I don't know if I ever have. I turned the truck over one time, and Jimmy did too.
I think I
turned
remember. Yeah, I feel like I remember doing Jimmy.
I turned the can truck over one time.
That's when we talked about the chain being.
Yeah. And his log chain ran in the floorboard, and every link hit me here in the head.
Turned the
And I ain't been right since.
truck.
Because that was a box truck, because he was back in
Yeah.
the driveway, so he got off culvert and it laid over.
Yeah.
So it didn't do either. So it said it messed up the mirror, and if the chain hadn't been there, the chain broke out the glass. But if that wouldn't been the chain, the glass wouldn't even broke out the driver's side.
Turned the old truck back up and put oil in it and a battery, and had put a battery in it. Went ahead and hauled milk that day.
So you had milk in it, or you didn't have milk?
Now, I was at
It
the
was
first
empty.
stop. And the guy I was a dumb one there. He had dug his road down. He hadn't put no rock on it. He built this new barn and he dug his road down. Well, it was still like that. And it was drizzling rain and it started sliding. If I'd just kicked the thing out of gear, I'd roll right back out in the road. But instead of that, I guess it scared and I sat there with my foot on the brake till it turned upside down. Damn, I woke up, everybody, them cans falling out.
Yeah.
Called Dick Harper, he had a garage at Lebanon Junction. He brought his wrecker up and turned it back over, and I called J.R. Bohan, and he come up and brought me a battery and a case of oil. So we filled it up and took off.
So you've probably been, what, you've been 30 then, or 25? Or?
Yeah. Oh, no. Probably 22 or 3, maybe.
Then Jimmy rolled his over in high school, wasn't he? So he probably
Yeah,
was 16
Jimmy's,
or 18.
that's what happened. His papers was blowing out or something.
Yeah.
He went to farm machinery show or something, had him a big cowboy hat on, and I think it was blowing out too.
I don't guess he ever did have any other wrecks. I mean, his driver did this one out here, but then
Yeah.
beside that, there wasn't any other ones, was there?
Yeah.
All right. Random question: How many births did you attend of your own children?
Now, do you have to ask
This
that
this one hits close to home for me because of my job.
Yeah, that's right. You'd be interested in it. I guess I've sort of been home for all of them, but as far as taking that time, I never did.
No, I mean you were in the room.
Oh, I never was in the room.
Never were in the room.
Uh-uh.
No.
I didn't even know. I don't even think. Could you always go in the room with them?
Well, I don't know. I mean, back in the day when they didn't have an epidural or like really good pain control, you probably didn't want to be in the room
Yeah.
with them.
I never did. I never did even give it a thought of being in the room. I don't know.
There's one story you told something about somebody stopped you in the LJ crossing tracks or something.
That's when Danette was born.
Because yeah, she was born in the office, wasn't
She
she?
was born in the office.
Yeah.
And I'd went to the distillery. She told me Phyllis told me thought she was having pains or something. Anyway, I'd set up with Debbie and Denise both all night. So I told her, I said, I'm going to go to the distillery and get a load of slop, and I'll come back and we'll go. So I go to the distillery and get my load of slop and come back, and I got on the railroad track at Lebanon Junction, and Mom was crossing the track the other way, and she flagged me down. And Shorty they took her to the doctor, and she'd had the baby in the doctor's office. And Mom smacked the heck out of me.
Your mom?
My mom.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So you got a story or something.
Railroad tracks. At the distillery, you get slop and you feed it to your pigs.
Yeah, feed the cows.
How much would the distillery charge you for that?
I think it's 10 cents a barrel or 20 cents a barrel or something. And we got a load a day up at Claremont. It wasn't at Churchill, Churchill had better slop in. They had thick slop, and Churchill had thin slop.
Beans?
Uh,
Beans or Boston?
Beams at
Boston.
no, the one at Claremont. That's the one had the thin slop.
What was Churchill?
Thick slop over there.
Where was that at?
It's 20 cents.
Where was that
Oh,
at?
here, I call it Churchill, Boston.
Boston was
Yeah.
Was the name of the distillery or what was Churchill?
They called it Churchill. I don't know. I
They
guess
wasn't called
Beams.
Beams?
I guess it belonged to Beams. I'm pretty sure it was Churchill. It was Boston Beams Distillery when we hauled the coal for it, and that was several years before that.
I didn't know it was called Churchill. Didn't they have run cows? Didn't they feed them?
Yeah. Yeah.
The distillery had their own cow herd and they fed their own distillery to their own cows.
Yeah.
Like Beams on
They had a place over up Boston where they loaded the cattle on the trains.
trails there. Huh.
Yeah. Y'all don't know how old I am. I'm here
I'm learning all about it. I'm gonna go piss, and then we'll talk about your dad a little bit.
He said Carly told him I'm interested in this kind of stuff. I'm interested. I'm just talking to Carly about where she talked about it. She'd done a little bit. And Daddy, Vina Bell, one of Daddy's sisters, had a little kid died when she's, I don't know what, 2 or 3 years old. And then Bobby Fowler, my grandmother, Mom's mother, they had a son died. He's 3 or 4 years old. And we've been halfway trying to find out where he's buried. If it's cold, I feel like Coldburg is buried. Coldburg, I feel like.
Oh, all right. Virgil Elijah. Let's see, looks like he was born in 08, November 12th,
Yeah,
day after my mom was born.
yeah.
So he was born to George Washington and Connie,
Yeah.
Aunt Bybee. No,
Yeah.
Bybee?
Yeah.
Bybee Ash.
That's
That's what you call her, Bybee Ash. And he was born on a farm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't go. I wasn't born in the hospital, like you.
Right. Yeah, no
I
way. He
don't
would have.
think.
Is he the oldest?
Huh?
Was he the oldest?
Yeah.
He was the oldest.
Yeah. Daddy was the oldest.
What do you think his education consisted of?
I think he said he got all eighth grade. He went to a one-room school. There used to be a one-room school down there where his mother and aunt's buried down there. There's a little cemetery down there where we went last summer to that. Debbie went with us.
Oh, yeah.
Debbie and Ricky and some of us.
Where are y'all talking about?
Oh, you're before that. I guess Jimmy's still living when we went up there, I think.
Yeah.
That was in, what town is that in? Is that in Lebanon Junction?
Yeah, I guess that'd be Lebanon Johnson.
Let's see. If he finished grade 8. Well, it's not the same anymore, is it? Like in terms of like when you start grades? Because you said you finished 8th grade at age 13.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So he probably would have been like early 20s when he
Yeah.
finished school.
I've heard him say that they started school in August and they got out Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. They would finish their year.
They would do their whole year
That's
in
the
4
way-
months?
Yeah. That's reading this morning.
Each school year was from August.
I know he told, I've heard him tell that they got out Christmas.
Why? I mean, what the hell were they doing in the spring?
I don't know. Hell, they went to work when he was 6 years old, I guess.
Yeah.
They cut wood and
I'm sure, it's like you think that, but that's how it was here. If you get to Louisville, like it's probably that much. They probably had a lot more.
yeah,
Or here you couldn't get this.
yeah.
If the weather got bad, they didn't have vehicles. Like you couldn't get around.
True,
I've
yeah.
heard Daddy tell that he'd seen the snow deep enough that I guess, of course, there wasn't no buses, but his dad would drag a pole of wood, tied team of horses to a log and drag it down, give him a path to go to school on. Of course, he didn't live where they lived. It probably only been 3 miles to where he went to school. Of course, that's still a pretty good ways, but
3-mile walk to school. Jeez. That was a parochial, like Catholic, or was that just a county school?
just
County school.
County school. Well, Daddy wasn't a Catholic. You knew that, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
He wasn't a Catholic. He was.
Put that in there. What was he raised?
Baptist.
Raised.
Yeah. Of course, he went to church very few times. That's what he's supposed to be, Baptist.
So he didn't touch alcohol?
Nah, he wouldn't touch alcohol.
But he would smoke, right?
He
Like
smoked all
cigarettes?
the time, and I've
Yeah.
seen him drink a beer a few times, but not very many. Very few. I could probably count them on my fingers.
Yeah.
He liked to, if he had a bad cold, he liked to push that whiskey on you for a cold. a swallow or two, you know. He'd make us kids drank a toddy, he picked up a toddy. I never did think it helped a dang thing. Make me throw up. But,
He smoked non-filtered cigarettes too, didn't
huh?
He
Yeah, he
smoked
smoked non-filter. And he smoked, he smoked 2 packs a day.
So smoking was his main vice.
Yeah.
So once he finished 8th grade, what job did he get?
Yeah, I'm sure it's logging.
Logging. Oh yeah, he said that. He said that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he went to work for L&N Shops at Railroad. Well, he worked on the section when they was building the railroads. Cause I've heard him say they lived over here on the river, and I guess they could go up and work on anytime they didn't have nothing else to do. I guess they'd go up and work on the railroad. And I don't know. I'm sure they didn't have no union. I don't know where they paid him $1. I don't know, have no idea.
So he was a logger first, then a farmer.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I've heard him say that he worked on the section. But he said used to they worked on that hill every day. You know, when them open steam engines was running. Of course, everything done by hand then. It wasn't like it is now. They can't fix it and leave it a week or two.
I said I don't hear that the lumber would go to the distillery houses,
Yeah, warehouses.
warehouses.
Yeah, yeah, that's mostly what he done. Cross ties and for them warehouses. And Mickey McGuire, Joe's daddy, he built a lot of them warehouses, and him and Daddy had went to school together when they was young. So Daddy worked through him a whole lot. I mean, you know, he'd tell them what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy tried. Daddy never did have a sawmill, but he just hauled logs to the mill and had it sawed and take it to the distilleries.
So when you say somebody's a logger, are you saying he's on one side of the saw and another guy's on the other side?
Now that just what I'm called. He does. He do both sides, and then drag the logs out and haul them to the mill.
So he would cut it down.
He'd cut it down, drag it out, and haul it to the mill, and they'd saw it up, and then he'd deliver it to the distillery or everywhere.
Drag it out of the forests. How would he haul it? Horse?
Old truck or wagons. When he
Horse.
first started, I'm sure he does wagons a whole lot, but then later on he got the truck. Of course, they got the chainsaws. For years and years, he cut it with crosscuts, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you pretty close to your dad?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Me and him, actually all three of me and Heavy hugged all three close to Dad. Dad was really good to us. Dad and Mom both with him. In fact, that's one thing. You hear these people tell about this one or that and being no good to them, but every one of my people been good as they could be to us.
Let's see here. Alright. So You're already loaded on here. Let's add your siblings on here. So let's see. Sluggo. What's Sluggo's first and middle name?
Joseph Donald.
Joseph Donald. You remember his date of birth?
Yeah, 23rd of May. His birthday is 23rd of May, and Mom's was 22nd of May.
What year was he born? Do you remember?
51.
51. Then it was Heavy,
Connie,
or Connie.
she's born 49.
What's Connie's middle name?
You know, I don't know. I guess it's Connie, I think it's Connie Elizabeth.
Connie Elizabeth.
Does that look right, or is that
I
tell
don't
you
know.
on that?
It will show me in a second, but I have to put it in first. And then she was born when?
In 1949.
49.
I believe it's in October too. I don't know her birthday.
Yeah. There we go. Then let's see. Your middle name? Henry? What's your middle name?
Howard, Howard.
Howard, that's right.
Yeah.
I was just saying H. Okay, then let's see. Who am I missing? Of your siblings, your brothers and sisters.
Heavy, I guess.
What's Heavy's given name?
Gerald Virgil.
Charles Virgil?
Gerald.
Gerald.
Gerald Virgil or Gerald Elijah. I better not tell you that. I believe maybe it's Gerald Elijah, I believe. I think he's buried.
I can just put Gerald in there. What year was he born?
I believe 39.
39.
But I'm believing on that too.
3 years after you.
Yeah.
There we go, good. You think he traveled ever? Where do you think the furthest place he ever went?
He never did go very far. Florida, probably. He drove up. He worked for construction. And that's what he done. And he did go to these different towns. And
Okay.
he hauled heavy equipment, what he done.
Heavy did?
Yeah.
Virgil would accompany him.
Sometimes. He wasn't hauling it for Daddy now. He was hauling it for these different construction companies. He worked for Wittenberg and I forgot. He had 2 or 3 different companies he worked for.
Mm-hmm.
And they just hauled up this equipment from one job to the other, you know, if they was working on a job in Owensboro or Louisville or up. I think they hauled a lot of stuff up in the mountains. They worked in the coal mines a whole lot. You know,
Oh, yeah.
hauled construction equipment up in there.
Passed away in 1998.
Yeah,
What did he pass away from? Just the years of smoking?
yeah.
Do you think he actually had cancer, or was it just like
No.
COPD?
We went to see him tonight, and tomorrow evening they called us and told us he's dead. So
I mean, he was
he
90,
wasn't.
he was 92, right? Or
Yeah.
90.
80, he was
89.
89.
Yeah, he kept saying he's going to make it to 90 in like 2 months. He's been 90 in November and he died in August.
Would have loved to have seen his lungs.
Can't tell. That's what I said, non-filtered shit, and he ate gravy or something. Like,
I've heard him say that his dad, they go to Tom Dyer's at Boston. He had a little store, and say his dad would give him a nickel or a dime to buy him candy, and he'd sneak around and give him a sack of tobacco. They didn't have cigarettes in. I don't reckon he had to roll his own.
Here, I'll add that. That's a funny story.
you put in there about him, didn't he work on the railroad some? Or
Yeah,
Yeah, I added that on there.
he worked on section, and then he went to got a job at L&N Shops one time, but he didn't stay in there 2 or 3 months.
So you said his dad, George Washington, George would give him a nickel or something
Yeah.
to get some candy.
Yeah. Yeah, when he was real young, of course, his dad died when he was, what, 14 or 15.
Yeah, I think that's what we said. Yeah.
that's great. So he died at 14 or 15. He's probably 10 or 12 when he's buying tobacco. That's what it's-
Right.
That's
Call the
crazy.
George to give him some money.
I always just figured he stole his, he swiped a little bit of tobacco from his dad, but he said his dad chewed tobacco, but he didn't smoke.
Since his dad, we said, I'm trying to think. You said his dad passed away in 23. I think we said he was 15. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Something like that.
I done-
Yeah, I think because we said George passed away before you were born.
Yeah.
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 Since his dad passed away, he was 15.
I think I've heard him say Doc was 2 years old when his dad passed away.
Doc was?
Yeah,
Oh,
when,
but
So I don't-
Virgil was older.
yeah,
But- okay,
Daddy was
gotcha,
the
okay.
oldest. And,
He was likely smoking
yeah.
at age 12. Gosh dang. Yeah, so he smokes for 80 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have donated his body to science. We could have learned something from that.
Yeah, every time Dad go to the doctor, he stayed sick a whole lot and coughed like heck. But they'd always get on him to quit smoking.
Yeah.
But he never did. He'd go to the hospital, it just worried the shit out of him if he gets in the hospital. He'd try to get you, take him out of the room, take him around to the... And that bed go through that door, go around out to the waiting room. Of course, he could smoke in there at that time.
Oh,
And
right.
You can't do that,
That's funny.
He got in the car, he'd light that cigarette up and they'd take one after the other till he got home.
How many? I only ever knew him over there. Like, how long was he? And when he kind of quit working?
Do what?
How old was he when he quit working?
When Mom had a wreck, he was up at Doc one day and they was up visiting Doc for some reason. And when they left, Mom pulled out in front of somebody and hit him in the side, broke Daddy's hip. But that was the end of his working.
How old would he been then?
I don't remember exactly how old he was then. He should have done been quit. I mean, he was still driving then. He'd come over here and put a garden there.
But they were already living in that place
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
So he stopped working when he broke his hip
yeah, when he broke his leg or hip,
in a car accident.
maybe. I forgot. He broke several bones, I think.
His wife was driving.
Pulled up, and did you know where Doc lived? No, you don't remember neither. She pulled right out in front of my car, hit him inside.
Hit on the passenger side or the driver's side?
I don't know which way the car was coming.
Women drivers, man. Gotta
Yeah.
watch it.
How did she die?
Huh?
How did your mom die? I never knew.
She had cancer, and then she died. She liked a little bit being 80 years old. She was over here in one of them nursing homes. She'd gotten in really bad shape, didn't know us. And
Mary Generose Fowler. Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
her next. Looks like she was born in May of 1915. You remember, remember her actual date of birth?
22nd of May.
22nd of May.
Yeah.
Here, I can put that in there. Colesburg, it says.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
You know much about her schooling?
No, she went to 8th grade, and she won 2 or 3 trips. I think for sewing or something. She got to make 2 or 3 little class trips when she's growing up, I think they said.
Doing
And I-
sewing?
Yeah, I think it's for sewing. It was for something other.
That's cool.
She always liked sew. If you don't remember, of course, but she'd make quilts. Oh, have it. She'd all scattered out in the yard. Take half of a room up, and her and Agneta Moore and Nate Babby, and they'd get them together, and hell, they'd make a quilt in no time.
Nice.
Said they Mom liked sew or crochet, or she was a pretty good cook too. Mom was. Make any kind of candy you could think of.
Was she the one that got that group doing the candy cooking at Christmas? Did she start that tradition?
I think she probably was.
Yeah.
They make all different kinds of candy and cookies. Said she'd fix some big meals. They'd have some big dinners then when Mom and Dad was a little bit younger. And Daddy weighed about 140 pounds.
So then, once she finished up 8th grade, did she work or just stay at home?
Stay at home, I guess. Yeah.
That's the way it was back then.
Yeah. She had a brother, she had a sister, Lucille, and then she had a brother, Paul, and he died real young. That's how come me and Carter got to talking about part of this, because we were trying to figure out where Paul was buried at. I feel like he's at Colesburg, because that's where they live, and they're Catholic, and of course there's a lot of fellows around there, but he
So wait.
died. He's 3 or 4 years old, so
So let's see. Mary Generose, you said she had a brother?
yeah, she had a brother.
What was his name?
William Paul. I believe Carly said it was William.
Paul Fowler?
Yeah. I believe it was William.
He's
And
deceased
I think
now.
Carly found out that he was born in 15.
Mm.
No, he was born in 13. Mom was born in 15. I believe that's what Carly's. She looked up some of that stuff. She found
Yeah. And then, let's see. She had a sister,
Lucille, but I don't have no idea what her
Lucille Fowler.
middle name or nothing else.
That's fine. Like I said, it'll load. There was just 3 kids?
Yeah.
She have any vices? Did she smoke?
Not, Mom didn't smoke.
Mary General didn't smoke.
No. Hell, Mom was, I never did hear her say damn. She wouldn't say a cuss word or. You wouldn't have thought she was in kin to us.
When Sluggo, you said Sluggo was on the way, he'd always tell stories to make her brother get her flustered or something.
Yeah.
Didn't smoke, drink, or curse. Now, was she Baptist?
No, she's Catholic.
She was
The
Catholic.
Fowlers was Catholic.
Gotcha, okay. I'll add that in there.
I can remember us staying over a few times and we'd go in her bedroom, my grandma's bedroom in there, and he'd be kneeled down in there saying the rosary. Was that before they had electricity up?
Who would be saying the rosary?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Her
her
mom.
father?
Yeah, her dad.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, we haven't gone there yet. Huh.
And it was no lights or nothing. They'd just be kneeled down on the couch. And I can remember that because I just hadn't seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I know that's her grandmother. Of course, she was Catholic too.
You said Mary Generose, your mother,
Yeah,
passed away of cancer.
yeah.
Did they say what kind it was? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Said she passed away in E-Town. Was she at the
Yeah,
hospital
she was
there?
she was in a nursing home.
No, okay, gotcha.
And I don't remember what the name of the nursing home. Well, maybe she was at. Maybe they took her from a nursing home to the hospital. Cause I think they had the people there, had the nurses and things there, and they was going to leave her in the room till 11 o'clock. And if she wasn't, then something happened to her at 11 o'clock there, and she died just about 11 o'clock
At night?
at night. It's on Saturday night. They'd called us. We was all over there.
What was the date on that? You remember that? It's okay if you
I
can't.
should.
Sorry. 1994.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to think back. I'm like, do I remember any conversations between my
She
parents
died in 94.
around that time?
Yeah, her and Jean both died.
That was when I was on, what, 3?
Huh?
3.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, that's what I say. I didn't think I remembered it, but I knew it. I definitely wouldn't. But
94, yeah. Let's see, Jean died June the 10th, I believe. And Mom died December the 4th.
December 4th. The age of 79.
Does it look like it?
It'll tell me later. But those details, those are usually easily found, you know. It's the stories that I love.
you said you were born in 15?
15, yeah.
She was
Yeah.
born in 15, died in 94. She'd been 79.
Yeah. That's what you was, 79.
79? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how long was she in the nursing home?
Just a couple, 3 months.
Mm.
And how long before that was a wreck, you think? Or
Oh, the wreck was several years before
Several
that.
years before.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did she
got-
get hurt in the wreck, or did he take the brunt of it all?
Actually, I guess Daddy took the. They didn't put Mom in the hospital. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
So he would have been out of work then.
Must have hit on the passenger side, I guess, 'cause she would have been driving. Mom would have been driving.
If he whatever, it probably put him out of work for 10. If he died in 98, I mean, if the wreck was in 90 or 88, somewhere 88, 90, he would have been out of work for 10 years or something
Yeah.
close to it then.
Yeah.
More than I would have guessed.
Yeah. And he come over here a few times like I say, until he had to wreck, till she had to wreck and hurt him. He I know he put a garden out 2 or 3 years after, you know, of course him and Slug and Mom now, they all lived down here. And when they got married, Mom and Daddy rented that place over there at Lebanon Junction. Moved over there, and I know Daddy come back and forth a year or
I
two.
remember him being here Sunday dinner before.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember him sitting at the table and having false teeth and stuff. Or did he have false teeth?
No.
I'll say he didn't, because that's what he always had to eat something.
Yeah.
He couldn't eat whatever we was eating a lot of times. I was like,
For a long time, he had one tooth in the
That
bottom.
was your dad?
Yeah.
yeah.
He had his. He got false teeth, but he never could wear them. But his lower teeth, they just rotted out one at a time. And
Thanks for that. At one point, he only had one tooth. Then got dentures eventually.
he got them early, but he never did wear them.
You got false teeth and you were 16.
I'm 17.
17, I said about 16.
I got my teeth pulled and my false teeth put in the same day.
Age 17?
I'm 17
Why?
years old. Hell, my teeth rotted out. I had toothache all the time.
Jeez Louise.
I didn't know you were supposed to brush your teeth.
We're definitely putting this in your thing. Yeah, I guess you didn't have fluorinated water back then.
And I had bad teeth anyway. I did have toothache half the time. And I went to Dr. Richardson in Easttown. I mean, Mom and Daddy took me, of course. And I got my teeth pulled and my false teeth for $75.
I didn't think they could do that, because I thought your mouth would be swollen. You couldn't get
It
your
was.
teeth to fit.
I had to go back a dozen times. You couldn't. I wouldn't do that again.
Well, that's like the thing now. If they pull your tooth, they let the swelling go down before they would make a mold to.
Oh my God, that's great. Any other good stories about Mary Generose?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go to her dad. I've got it. Is it? I guess William Frank,
Yeah.
because he's known as William F. in here. Let me go to his name.
Yeah. Now, I know very little about him.
William Frank Fowler.
You need to take your truck anywhere? You care if I take Rump Slow or Mike's? I gotta go meet that insurance guy.
Yeah.
Stay
Go
on
ahead.
that trailer. I'll be back.
Okay.
Maybe 40 minutes.
There you go, William Frank Fowler. That's how you can change that. Yeah. Listen to that. What do you remember about him?
I don't remember, but a very little about him. He was a little guy, real small, the best I remember. Of course, he died in, 47?
It doesn't say yet. Give me a second here. Let me find. There's actually a thing on here where you can talk about his height.
If we could find when
He was 4'7", is that what you said?
Oh, no, he was taller than that.
Oh, okay.
Five. He was probably not over 5'2" or 3", I don't believe. The way I remember him, he was small. But if we'd find when he died, we'd know a little bit more about when we bought this place, because I think he died in May, and we bought this place the next year in October, November, or something.
He said he
like
was
that.
Catholic.
Yeah,
right?
he was Catholic. Yeah.
Let's see, his Let's see. That was your great grandfather. No, that was your grandfather.
My grandfather.
His grandson, William Myers, recalls seeing William Fowler kneeling at home in a dark bedroom, saying the rosary.
I don't know if he said that Bernard or not, but I know we was down there, we was up there playing, us kids. And I run in the room, not even both been in there, and he was
Right.
kneeled down.
What was his occupation?
Farm.
Farmer.
Yeah.
Just run of the mill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing big. I mean, they didn't, of course, like I said, they didn't, I think they fed cattle. He fed he had there was about 200 acres of that farm, or 250 acres or something. And they had a lot of river bottoms on it. And I think they used to feed out, I've heard them say that
A
they
lot of
fed
big what?
cattle.
Cattle.
And they'd feed their cows out, fatten them out before they'd sell them. I've heard, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know that.
They live in Bullitt County. Where'd they live?
Hardin.
They lived in Hardin County.
Yeah, they lived up where we used to live. Across the track,
Oh,
that place up
right
there.
beside the 65.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's where they lived their whole life.
Gotcha.
Frank and Neil.
So technically, that's Colesburg. Yeah, you would call that Colesburg.
Yeah.
Colesburg. Farmhouse right off of what is now exit 102 on I-65. Let's see here. Let's see, let's review. It does give me a hint for him, so let's review it. William Franklin Fowler passed away. Yeah, spouse was Nell. Passed away in 47.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Let me show you something kind of cool. So, at some point, all these census records,
Yeah.
somebody has gone back and taken the paper copies and then scanned them in and created a large database of all the paper copies. So, for example, the computer program will go in and just kind of like scan through and pick out details. And so what you're looking at here is 1947 death certificate from the state of Kentucky.
Huh.
So it says place of birth, place of death, Hardin. William Franklin Fowler. So I guess his middle name is actually Franklin.
Yeah.
He lived in Colesburg. White male.
Did it tell how old he was?
Let's see. It does somewhere, if I can find it. Date of death, May 27th. Yeah, you said it was May, right?
Yeah.
1947. Trying to see where it says he was. Oh, he was 66 years old.
66.
66 years old, 6 months and 2 days. He was a farmer. His father was J. Thomas Fowler, and his mother's name was Cora Carlisle. That was her maiden name. Due to pernicious anemia. That's why he passed away.
Is that right?
I'm trying to see what the hell that word is.
I know Lucille, his daughter, was giving him his supper, feeding him his supper. He's in bed. And they said he told her he thought he was going to faint. So she turned around and put the plate down, with a spoon, with what she had. And she turned back and he was dead. He must, I guess, heart attack. I don't know.
So we'll do this name, William Franklin Fowler. Birth, 25. Death, good.
When was his birthday?
His birthday was November 25th.
November 25th.
Like a Thanksgiving. J. Thomas, like I said, was his dad. Mother was Cora Carlisle. And his wife.
His first wife died, didn't she? He'd been his grandpa's daddy, my great grandpa. His wife died, I think, and he got married a second time.
So let's see. Nellie
Yeah,
Thornsbury.
Thornsbury.
Okay, we'll save all that. Sometimes what it does is it takes what you put in there, and then like I'll sign out for a few days, and like during that time, the system just kind of like
Oh yeah.
any type of like potential match. When you go to sign in again, it'll say, "Hey, does this match? Like, does this death certificate from 1986 match with this?" And you just look at it and review it, because sometimes, you know, people have similar names or something, and sometimes if you go into the details, like, oh, that's not the right person, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't accept like all of it unless I can kind of confirm it.
Yeah.
But.
I
So
appreciate you doing it. I'm
no, I like it.
glad to hear about some of this stuff.
So let's see. So like I said, he passed away. Pernicious. I'm gonna look up that word. We don't use that word in medicine anymore. Pernicious anemia. And then that other word, I couldn't tell what the hell they wrote there. Oh. Yeah, it's basically a vitamin B12 deficiency. So you're not getting enough vitamins.
Is that right?
Inability to absorb vitamin B12. Huh. You said somebody was at his house feeding him?
Yeah, his daughter
His daughter.
was feeding him, and
His daughter's, what was her name?
Lucille, and said she felt like he told her that he thought he was going to faint. So she turned around and put the plate down, and he fell down. I don't know where he was sitting up or what, but anyway, he was dead when she turned back around.
He felt faint. So she turned to put the plate down, and she turned around. Okay. Remember anything else about him?
No, like I say, I just don't remember that much about him at all. I can
farmer.
remember of him being kneeling down praying, 'cause that just kind of stood out. I just
Yeah.
wasn't used to seeing anything like that. His wife, Nell, she had arthritis really bad, really bad. She went
Nellie
some of them
Thornsberry.
places that they give them bears in some kind of water or something to, or soak in water, I don't know what, but Martinsville, Indiana, or I forgot where it was at, but she went someplace, stayed a couple of weeks, a time or two, for for this arthritis. Her hands was all drawn and she looked terrible.
So they would like, put her in a special bath.
Yeah, they had some kind of water, I think, maybe boiled, I don't know whether it's real hot water or cold water or what it was, but it's supposed to be something. I'm thinking it's Martinsville, Indiana. I don't even know where that's at, but I'm pretty sure that was the name of the place. And they stayed there a week or two, I think.
There is a Martinsville, Indiana. It's in Morgan County. Let's see where that is. It's only 2 hours away. Yeah, just north of Bloomington. So it's on the south side of Indianapolis.
Oh,
It's off of I-69 instead of being off 65. So yeah, it's possible.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of the town they talked about. I guess Mom, Daddy had to take her up her. I guess. 'Cause neither one of them didn't ever drive. Frank or Nell never did drive.
Nellie E. Thornsberry. So yeah, she was born in 1892. It looks, let's see. So see, I can do this where you click on, this is a potential death record for her. What you can do is you can look at it. Oh, this is actually that other one for William Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's on here. It says
Oh, yeah.
It says he passed away when she was about 55 years old. Yeah, it's kind of all it says. Yeah, I wish I could see what this. It almost looks like they're trying to write inanition. I don't think that's a word. Looks like an I-N-A-N-I-T-I-O-N. Oh, it is a word. Inanition. Exhaustion. Caused by lack of nourishment. Huh. I'm gonna start using that word. Your body can't do it anymore.
I guess.
You just,
I know they set up with her for.
well, that was him, but her.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, that was him. I was gonna put that in his. But if you recall anything about her death, well, let me know.
Well, I know they had set up with. I think they set up with him for a while, but I wasn't that old. We wasn't even moved over here before he died. He died before we moved over here, so I don't remember that much about him. But I think I set up 2 or 3 times with her. I mean, they'd have a grown up with me. Just 10, 12, 15 years old, I guess. 14 years old, maybe.
Let's view this one. This is a Social Security application. Nellie E. Thornsberry, spouse William F. Fowler, child Mary Jenna Rose Myers. So yeah, that works. Don't know her middle name, though. Yeah. You remember anything else about Nell or Nellie?
No.
No, not really. Sometimes you can do this. It's kind of fun because, she was born in 1892. It says there's a possible match for her father being named Henry. And Henry Thornsberry thinks he was born in 1845 in Hardin County. Let's see, if she was born in 1892, then this 1900 federal census should list her as a dependent. But it's just yeah. Could be. Oh, that's crazy. Look at that last name. Huff.
Huff, yeah.
So that would have been,
That son of a kin.
yeah. I'm going to tell Melissa that she married her cousin. Because, that's Matt's
Oh, yeah.
last name.
Yeah. Yeah, they was. I can remember Henry and Harry Huff that lived at Coldburg. I think it's old bachelors. I remember hearing that name. I don't know if I ever seen him. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's a Henry Huff that still owns some ground down here between the reservation and Drury Reach. There's 5 or 6 acres down there. I don't know how it come Fort Knox to leave it, but I guess Jury's one told me that it supposed to belong to, I think it said Henry Huff. So he probably got an uncle lives right here in Coldburg.
Probably. So I guess I'm trying to think. Nellie was your grandmother,
Yeah,
and your grandmother on the other side was
Connie.
Connie,
Yeah,
and then Connie was married to George Washington, right?
Yeah.
George Washington, and George Washington's parents came from Germany.
yeah,
Yeah, because on this side, if we assume that this guy is correct, looks like he was born in Hardin County.
oh, no.
So that side of the family must have come over from somewhere earlier
Yeah,
than the Myers side did. Here, let's go back to William Franklin. No, I'm gonna stick with the males on your side. Virgil, George. So see, I'd like to know. Let's take a look at this. This is George Washington's father, Frederick John, the one of the 2 brothers that was born in Germany.
oh, yeah.
So if we look at this death record, I think that's where they're getting the Germany information from. Because, let's see, this is a death certificate from Bullitt County, Lebanon Junction, George W. Myers, white male, married, born in 1881, May 22nd. He died at age 41. He was a farmer.
Then he was young, wasn't
Yeah, he was the one. Like I say, he passed away in 23,
he? Yeah.
about 13 years before you were born. Cause of death. He had pneumonia. Can't read the first word. Oh yeah, pneumonia. Actually, I think it says bronchial, maybe. Let's see if they used to call it that. Bronchial pneumonia. Yeah. Type of pneumonia that inflames the lungs' tiny air sacs in the bronchi. I think that might have just been the original name for pneumonia. I think they just dropped the first.
Yeah.
Anyways, so bronchial pneumonia. Oh, secondary to influenza. So, this is George Washington, keep in mind. So, birthplace, he was born in Bullitt County. His father was Fred Myers. Birthplace, Germany. His mother, so Fred's wife was Arminta Jones. She was from Ohio. And this was signed by Jim Myers. Would that have been
My daddy talked about Uncle Jim, that just lived, which was his dad's brother.
oh, so his uncle, your great uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a big bunch of kids, boys too.
Okay. So what's interesting is that. Okay. Oh crap. Go back to my tree here. George Washington, I was going to add his bronchopneumonia. Yeah, you said pneumonia or flu. You got it right. Broncho pneumonia secondary to influenza. Then we said George's dad was Frederick John Myers. Now the interesting thing is, it said Germany on that form, but the actual town, that was not listed on there. So I wonder where that's being pulled from. Almeida Jones. I think it's pulling from some of this other stuff. Okay, here you go. This is from a gentleman named James Barnes. He's got on this website and also created a family tree. He says that Frederick John was born in Hanover, Germany. Oof. He actually found a father for him too. A.W. Once you start getting back that far, it's like,
Yeah.
how accurate? Because he says Hanover, this other person says Frankfurt. Although, you know, some churches over there probably keep really good records. Assuming you know, the church didn't get burned down at
Yeah,
some point,
yeah.
you know. This person also says Frankfurt. Frankfurt. The interesting part would be finding Frederick's brother somehow,
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Let's see here. I want to see. Okay. This is interesting. He's claiming that he got his Germany information from this. This is basically a list of all passenger and crew on a boat that arrived at Ellis Island in New York. But
And that's where they were supposed to come in on.
I mean, I guess that's where everybody came in. You know, I mean, I've you probably heard the name of that island too, Ellis Island. You know,
Yeah,
people
I think I have.
people talk about that, but finding Meyer on here seems hard as hell. Like I said, some of these computer programs, they'll make an attempt to read cursive, and I'll try to find it for you on the screen.
No, did I?
But oh, okay, I see what they're saying here. So what they've got here is the family members. At Fort Knox? Good grief, man. The family members are listed in order, starting with the dad. So what they did was, it's either an A or an N. Honestly, sometimes if you look at the other words around here, you can kind of see what the person's handwriting was like. Trying to see if I see any capital A's. We got fancy J's, fancy H's. But basically what this person is arguing is that this is a Myers here. That the handwriting's awful, but and then below it is the wife. So he was this gentleman here was 50 years old, male. His wife was 38. Trying to see what this column means. I think it's farmer. Occupation. Okay, so that's occupation. The one next to it is the country to which they belong. The country in which they intend to become inhabitants. And then this column is if they died on the voyage or not. Okay.
I guess several of them did too, didn't
Oh
they?
yeah, I'm sure they did. So, best I can tell, that says farmer there. I'm not exactly sure. I think that looks like it says spirits or something. I don't know. Farmer. Doesn't say country. Or wait, maybe they're just saying all of this is the same. All these people came from Germany. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this is where they're going. I assume. Black's Mill, Wesley County, Nestor County. So, anyways, they've got looks like 3 kids. A 22-year-old daughter. Like I don't even know what that number is. 11 maybe? Or 16. And then a 19-year-old son. And the son is Frederick. But you said it doesn't exactly match up with the story that the 2 brothers came. I mean, it looks like there are 3 kids. Mary. That's what I'm saying. What's that?
Did all 3 of them come, or just the 2? Or did they tell?
It looks like it was a husband and wife and 3 kids.
Oh,
But there was 2 girls and a boy. So like that, that doesn't really match up
yeah.
with the story. So like let's see. He passed away in 2006. He lived a long time, really. George Washington's dad. So this 1880 census, Pine Tavern.
That's the name of the little road that he used to live on.
Oh wow, okay.
That's what they call that road, Pine Tavern.
There you go. So this one makes me think it's more accurate. Let's
Yeah.
see if I can find the last name. $35. Here you go. This is the cool part. Some of these, like I said, the computer does a lot of work for you. So it's highlighting for you what they think it could be a match to your family tree. And so here in green, you got Frederick Myers. Of course, they misspell it because a lot of people probably don't know how to spell anyways.
Yeah.
So this was Mayers,
Is that right?
but that's Frederick.
Well, a lot of people spell it Meyers
Right.
too.
Married to Arminta, and then it's got Frank, Lizzie, James, Sam, and Kate. But I thought we said that his son was George, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Goes you, Virgil, George, Frederick. This Frederick guy.
Yeah.
Works. Okay, so Frederick, he's 65 years old. He's got a wife who's 35. Good for him. Keeping house, works on the farm, works at home. Birthplace, Hanover. She was born in Ohio. Her father came over from Wales, it says. But where is this? Where did it say Pine Tavern? Oh, I think Pine Tavern is the. I think Pine Tavern is.
The county road that they live on.
Yeah, Pine Tavern is just like this district
Yeah,
east of L&N Railroad.
yeah.
Oh, it's on the other side.
To me, the other side.
Yeah. See, like all that stuff seems to make so much sense. But why isn't George listed on here? Doesn't make any sense to me. Because none of these names even sound close to George. This was, so wait. George, was he born yet? Might not have been born yet. Because remember he, let's pull up George. (1881). That was the census from 1880. So he wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
He had all those siblings, but he wasn't born yet. Okay, so if you go back to Frederick John, let's look at the 1900 census. Because by that point, George Washington should pop up on there as 9 years old or something. I love this stuff, man. I love it. Here you go. So now they spell it Meyers.
Yeah.
And we got so now this is interesting. So remember I said he was 65 years old in the 18. That first one was the 1880 census, right?
I think it was.
Yeah, I said it was the 1880 census, but he didn't pop up on there because he wasn't born yet. So now we fast forward 20 years, okay? And we're looking at the census, but on these census forms, it'll have the head of household listed first, even if it's not the oldest person in the house. So let's say you decide you're going to go live with my parents. On the census form, my dad will be up top, and then you'll be listed down below.
Oh, yeah.
So on here, what happened is, I said he was 65 in 1880. Now he's 85, so he's still alive, but he's living with his son. He's living with his son, and they're all living together. Because George, this James's brother,
Yeah.
he's living in the same house there in, it's just a district now. And in 1900, they probably dropped I don't know if they dropped the Pine name or something in this, but
Yeah.
yeah. So 1881, he was born. George was born. White male. Father was born in Germany. So that's, somebody's a carpenter. Who's a carpenter? Frederick, it said actually was a carpenter. Horse carpenter.
Horse.
That's what it says. HORSE carpenter. I don't know what that means. And then George was just a farm. It said farm laborer. And then this is nice. This is kind of cool. So it says George can read, he can write, and he can spell.
And George pretty smart guy, ain't he?
Yeah. Yeah. His mother, Arminta, or Arminti in this one, she could read, but she couldn't write. Wow. So okay. So that confirms that because some of these names I think made sense. Sometimes you get lucky like that because I mean, the fact that that George was living with his brother kept him on this list and makes it easy to see. So James R. Myers was one of Frederick's sons. Let's just confirm that from that 1880 census. Yep. He had James was was his third kid, and George Washington was the sixth. So it looks like George was the last. He was the runt of the bunch.
So, he had a pretty big family, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like myself.
Yeah. But that's good. So that confirms. Well, what that one confirms to me is where Frederick was born,
Yeah.
because basically in 1880 he was 65 years old. He was the head of the household, and he told the census worker, "I know,
Yeah.
I was born in Hanover, and both my parents were born in Hanover as well." So that's why I need to go back to my tree and update that, because that Frankfurt thing is just I just don't believe that that's correct. See, I love just little investigations like that. But yeah, I'll edit this real quick and we'll call it a day. Might go inside and see Grandma. See how she's doing. Frederick John. Born in Hanover, Germany. And that concludes our interview for today, January 29th, 2025.